Nation, 23-year-old Elijah McClain, a black man, died last August in police custody. NBC News legal analyst and defense attorney Danny Savalos tweeting this about the case. The Elijah McClain case puts a spotlight on an important issue, the degree of evidence police need to initiate a police-citizen contact. Initiation of these contacts may be the most important policy issue. It is how incidents escalate. So we decided to review the details with Danny and former federal prosecutor Cynthia Oxney.
Driver, stop right there. Hey, stop right there. Stop. 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 I have a right to stop you because you're being suspicious.
How do we get from the police pulling up to Elijah McClain to getting out and laying hands on him? The Supreme Court long ago said in a case called Terry v. Ohio that police sometimes don't have enough probable cause to arrest somebody on the street, but they may have articulable suspicion that criminal activity is afoot. And if they do, then they can conduct a limited pat-down and detain the person for further investigation. But they have to have some safety concerns.
So when the 911 call comes in, it's important to know there is no allegation of criminal activity in the 911 call.
You have a mask on. He looks sketchy. He might be a good person or a bad person.
Yeah.
There is no allegation there's a weapon.
Were any weapons involved or mentioned?
No.
There's no allegation that anyone is in danger, the officer or any other person. So that is very important in the analysis that the cop is making as he sees this guy walking down the street. They're not in a position to stop him or touch him under the law because there is no reasonable suspicion of any criminal wrongdoing. They can get out of the car and say, hey, we've had a call. They can chat with him if they want, but they certainly can't touch him. They certainly can't stop him or impede his forward movement in any way legally.
When Elijah asks the officers to step back, notice the officers don't tell him one way or the other if he's free to leave or if he's being detained.
I'm going home. Relax or I'm going to have to change this situation.
Officers don't tell you that in so many words. And so Elijah's left wondering, what exactly is happening to me? Once a detained person resists with any force, we're probably moving outside the realm of a Terry stop. After all, that was just created as a stopgap between having zero suspicion whatsoever and probable cause for an arrest. But it raises the question, why didn't the officers ask him any questions? That could have dispelled their reasonable suspicions, and Elijah could have been free to leave if he answered the questions correctly.
But let's just admit that police officers in wrongful arrests sometimes say somebody grabbed for their gun when they didn't do it. My initial reaction as somebody who has prosecuted police cases and looked at hundreds of police reports for police officers on excessive use of force, my gut reaction is that's probably not true.
If a person detained for a valid Terry stop makes a move for the officer's firearm, then this is escalated into a deadly situation for the officer, at least in his or her mind, and it's a justification for using force in that moment.
Whatever he's on, he has incredible strength.
Yeah, crazy strength.
Certainly there are situations where police can arrive on a scene and there's no apparent crime being conducted, but maybe somebody mentally ill reacts in a dangerous way to the police with no underlying crime. So police do need some degree of authority in those situations, and mental illness accounts for a large number of 911 call-outs. There are a lot of magic words in the law that police know they have to use in order to justify what they do on the street. Excited delirium is one of them. If police can articulate that this person was in some crazed state that posed some danger, that can justify using force, even if there wasn't probable cause for an arrest on some underlying crime. However, at the same time, police must be careful not to use that as a crutch if they don't have probable cause to make an arrest, but simply want to detain someone. It is a really, really fine line.
The district attorney didn't file any charges against the officers who said McClain resisted. An autopsy found that McClain's death was due to, quote, undetermined causes. The state is reviewing the case. Meanwhile, McClain's family says they plan to file a civil lawsuit.